are going to experience some really awesome presentation. An awesome presentation. And the one to do this presentation is a finance and investment professional and has in-depth knowledge and experience working in the finance industry in Ghana for over 2 decades. 15 years of work experience has been dedicated to investment banking and fund management, with 5 years dedicated to accounting, financial reporting, and management consulting. After joining Databank Asset Management Limited as an analyst in the year 2004, she rose through the ranks to become the head of Private Wealth Management Unit. Eventually, she served as the vice president within the Asset Management Unit in Databank. Armed with these rich experiences and her personal saving as capitals, she established OctaneSD Ltd. OctaneSD Ltd, a wealth management firm built up from scratch in 2017, from scratch. If you've started even a Pempemu store before, you know how difficult it is to start anything. So thank you for giving her a round of applause for that. And after 2.5 decades of operation, the firm grew stronger as it merged with Dalex Capital Ltd and now identified as OctaneDC Ltd, effective November 2019. Over the years, she has led various wealth management, finance, and administrative teams to manage funds worth over 337 million Ghana cedis for high net worth individuals, institutions, and mutual funds. I think Ghana can come to you for loan sometime. Currently, she serves as a board of Cyclone HR and serves as the independent corporate trustee on the Pension and Provident Fund Board of Nestle Ghana and CWA Limited and Cocoa Board Limited. In addition, she is a facilitator for a newly set up Ghana Investment and Security Institute, GISI, Teaching Portfolio and Wealth Management. Ladies and gentlemen, I humbly request that you be on your feet as we welcome our presenter, Dr. Suzy Puplampu.
Like a man.
Please take your seats. Thank you very much. Do I have a pointer? I'm not sure why Adam was pushing the conversation to what doesn't work for women, pregnancy and children. Isn't it about time that we focus on what works for us? Knowledge, skills, capacity, because that is what it will take. Women as we are, certain things are set for us. We will have to get pregnant. We will have to give birth, no matter how we look at it, even when transgender comes in. So it's about time that we move the conversation from what doesn't work to what works and what we must begin to look. Just look at whoever is sitting to your left or your right and say this to them. When you are called to the table, just say yes. Let's have some energy. When you are called to the table, just say yes. I have just 20 minutes. When CGIA asked me to speak on this, I told them this is a 3-hour course. You don't do anything on diversity in 20 minutes. But I'll lean on some of the lessons that were shared from the keynote address, and I'll also share my take on the subject. I love Catherine with her position on diversity. Can you imagine? Without diversity, life would be very boring. Imagine we all came here with the same needs, the same expectation, wearing the same dress or something. Would it be boring? So there's a place for diversity. We are all different, which is great because we are all unique. And having different minds at the table is what makes the conversation interesting. So diversity will always exist, no matter how hard we look at it. No matter how hard we want the men to support us. I like to take this whole conversation from a level playing ground, because discrimination, conversation on diversity didn't start with us, and it's not going to end with us. So let's look at equity. Some conversation that has been on for so many years. Equality since the days of Beijing conference. We are still talking about it. Then of course, the quantitatives, issues about diversity, the ratios, the numbers, the quotas. And of course, the qualitative. That should be qualitative and not quantitative. How we feel, how we want to be treated. On inclusion. When we look at conversations around equality, we are talking about sameness. So recently I shared an interview that was recruiting a DMD for a commercial bank in Liberia. Everybody that came for that interview was qualified. 10 years, second degree, professional qualification. Everybody was qualified. The very last question that was posed, when can you resume the role if you were chosen? Let's see the responses the men gave. One said, in a month. This is Liberia. The other said, in 2 weeks. And the third person said, immediately. We went to the women. One said, I'll need about 3 months. The other said, 2 months. And the third said, I will have to make a decision when I receive the nod. So we went back and we asked why the limitation. One said, my mom, she's unwell and she's staying with me. I'll need to find alternative arrangements where her care is concerned. So I need 3 months. The other said, my husband, I have to discuss this with him. He has to say yes before I can go. The third said, my children, we've just enrolled them in a new school. They are just adjusting. So it will take some time for the relocation. So we went back to the men. On your CV, you are married, you have children. So how is it possible for you to just get up today to relocate to Liberia? He said, I'll go and settle, and I'll ask the children to join me. So you see, even though the playing ground is the same, because we are women, and And because we always think about other people before us, our mother, our children, our husbands, it is not in a bad taste, but it is just who we are. It is just who we are. A reason why most people say when you have woman at the helm of affairs, things seem to go right. Every home that has a woman, it's no more a house, it is now a home. So certain things will definitely work against us so far as equity is concerned. Because we are not the type that will just grab our bags today and relocate without consideration for the world. So when the playing ground is offered, the expectation from the other side, that is the organization, is to know that if you are giving the role to a woman, there are some expectations of lifting her up because she's a woman. So the same that is expected of a man to pack her bag right away can't be expected of the woman. And without equity, diversity and inclusion are not possible. If fairness doesn't come to play, diversity and inclusion are not possible. When it comes to diversity, it's about numbers. How many more? What ratios? How close are we to the mean? The focus here is measuring the representation at every time around the table. But the question here is it just the number of women to be represented? Or it is the number of women who are qualified? The further we go on maternity leave does not stop us from learning. A point one of us made. Are we qualified to be invited to the table? Or it is just a case that because we are women, the space must be created for us to be around the table? So when it comes to issues about numbers and quotas and how many more will make our story more beautiful, it comes back to us to position ourselves to be counted. These are recent statistics that's going around, and I'm very happy that Madam Clarissa shared that in her presentation. This is from the Boardroom of Africa. And it's just a casual look on what it looks like on the Ghana Stock Exchange. 2020 out of 37 listed companies. Where the role is a CEO, 15% are female. Where it is MD, 12%. It gets more tight when it comes to CFOs. And it's usually the case with the role of CFO. I don't know if it's the nature of the work, but most of the time when you advertise for the role of CFOs, COOs, you have more male turning up for the interview. So sometimes it's not enough to say that the role was created, but the women were not found. We have to go back and understand why for certain roles, like company secretary, it's all about women. Why is that the case? So sometimes just looking at the end result and playing the devil's advocate, that you're not giving us the space, you're qualified, you're always taking them in. It's not enough. This is Gifty and I. She's been on my case for this presentation. A point I want to make about diversity, even physically, the way we look, we are different. Tall Suzy, short Gifty, whichever way you want to look at it. Suzy is tall because Gifty is short. Or Gifty is short because Suzy is tall. Whichever way you look at it, there's a difference. Some things we cannot change. What we can change is what we are beginning to invest in ourselves and build this job, because you said, I want new challenges. So within the 8 years, what challenges have you handled on the job? And why are you still holding the same role title? He said, I haven't been offered. That's what he said. I haven't been offered. So I asked, do you know what it takes to move from finance manager to CFO? Have you cited the scheme particulars of your organization? Do you know what it takes? He said no. This could have been a woman sitting there waiting for promotion. And you haven't moved because you don't know what it takes to move. Somehow you are hoping that you'll be lifted because you've done 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, and it's time for promotion. It's not about the number of years. It's what you are giving back to the organization and the value addition you are bringing. So when it comes to inclusion, the focus is the extent to which people can bring their whole true self to the business. What are you giving to the business? Venamaya said something very interesting when it comes to diversity. It's about diversity is being invited to the party. Inclusion is being asked to dance. This whole conversation brings the responsibility back to the employer, or what we all see as the enabling environment. So the enabling environment must be created for us. The enabling environment must be created for us. So you've had the opportunity to come and be selected to be part of the party, to join the organization. The rest is for you to ensure that you get on the dance floor. What the organization can do for you, they have done it. The rest is for us to get to the dance floor. We'll watch a very short video, between 2 to 3 minutes. Then I'll share with you my take on this subject. If we can play it.
You know that little voice in your head? The one that tells you to ignore a tasteless joke. You know that little voice in your head?
And equity. My take is that it's about time for each and every one of us to know who we are. Self-awareness is an important exercise that every single person must take. And identify your feelings and your position on matters. when you do speak up, it's important. The only way to be included around the table is for you to begin to raise your hands and speak up. So self-awareness as reflected in us as individuals. And where we provide leadership, we have people we work with in teams, we must let them know the expectations from them. It's the same with the employer-employee relationship. Employers must know what they expect from employees. At the end of the day, businesses are not charities. Businesses have objectives for setting up. And for every CEO, what is on their mind is shareholder value. That's what we are thinking about. So if you leave your feelings to your employer, it will take some time for your needs to be met. So self-awareness, please. There are a number of tools on self-awareness. Take that exercise and know who you are. Everyone is unique. Everyone is powerful. Believe in yourself and own your own potential and be proud about it. What it will take is confidence in, and make yourself so available and so important to the organization. My third point is the establishment. This has a lot more to do with them, with the HR protocols that will help them to understand their progression. So people work and work and work, and they don't understand why on me. Frequency of feedback. Feedback is the breakfast of champions. Ken Blanchard said that. Why do we wait for 6 months before we give feedback on performance? Why do we wait for 12 months before we give feedback? Someone keeps coming to work late every day. Somehow she can't make the 8 a.m. She's always in 8:20, 8:15, 8:30. Why, as a supervisor, do you sit and wait for 6 months before you pick up on this conversation? Sometimes all that person needs is someone to talk to them, to understand whatever challenges they are going through. And for that reason, they are able to be at work at 8 a.m. as prescribed. So let's improve on the frequency of the feedback that we provide. When you are into someone, you appreciate them. You let them know what they are doing well, what they can improve on, and what you want to challenge them with. It must be very frequent. My very last take on this. Please share this with Madam. It's about time we go beyond the quota mindset. The quota mindset makes it appear as if we have to wait because our time is coming. No, we don't have to wait. We have to improve so well that we are standing at the door, right at the door. And when that door is open, it has nothing to do with luck or favor. Yes, there's a place for luck and favor. But within that, it's the world knowing that this job, it's for you. because you have the capacity and the capability to deliver. You have demonstrated it over the years. So even if the world says it's lack of favor, you know yourself. So we need to move away from that mindset of our time will come, so we are just waiting. No. Be ready. Be ready at the door. In conclusion, we all have a part to play around the conversation on diversity, inclusion, equity. Somehow we have to juggle with new variables every now and then. Now we are moving to ESG, environment, social, corporate governance and all. So there are a lot more heavy conversations on organizations. So we all have a part to play when it comes to inclusion. We need to speak up. It's very important. We need to speak up. We need to avail ourselves. It's one thing building your skill set and being asked to do something, and you tell yourself, nah, this is not for me. I don't do things like that. It's for people like that. No. Let's work and build our skill set, and the rest is history. Thank you.